Alright, so you guys are gonna love this one. So, bought this old dump truck yesterday, and figured, well, first off, we went to look at a manure spreader. So we took this truck with the 18-foot trailer and drove out. It was out in Westminster. And while we were out there, I said, well, it was north of Westminster, it was past that, but whatever. There was this old 83 dump truck. It looked pretty good shape. I was like, well, let's go get the manure spreader first, load that up, then we'll go north and look at that truck. If it's worth buying, I'll take the trailer off, hook it to the truck, drive the truck home. Dawn can drive this home. So, long story short, we did that. Driving the truck home, ran great for a little while. It needs exhaust work. It needs stuff. It's not a brand new truck by any means. It needs some stuff, which I anticipated anyway. But the exhaust is broken like under the cab and blah, super freaking loud. Oh my god, it was. So that was one thing. But then it started running a little rough, almost like it was starving in fuel. Like it kept falling on its face, like bleh, bleh, bleh. I'm like, oh great. So it broke down in the middle of intersections, all kinds of stuff. We put the trailer back on this truck, and then I was just driving the dump by itself just to ease up on the engine load, and it just got worse and worse. I was like, that's awesome. Felt like maybe dirty fuel, maybe dirt in some kind of filter or screen or fuel pump going bad. I'm not sure. Whatever is what it is. It ran like crap. So ended up, we pulled over and I was just letting it sit for a while. It seemed like if you let it sit and start it back up a little while later, you know, it runs good for a little while and then does it again. So we were like, all right, where's a truck repair facility near here? So we were Googling that and we found one. It said they were open. I couldn't find the number, but it was like 2 miles away. And I was like, well, let's get it over there and leave it with them. So we drove it over there and they said they were open, but they weren't open. And there was trucks everywhere, big dump trucks and everything. So I was like, well, we'll leave it here and I'll call them in the morning, because it was getting late. Figured they might have called it a night early. So anyway, this morning I look it up on the maps and I see the name and I'm researching, trying to find the number. I finally find the number. I've been calling it all day. Ends up that's not the number, that's somebody else. So I was like, oh, okay. So I looked it up again and ended up finding the number. Whatever. So called him and explained to the guy who answered the situation I ran into, and I said I left it there on the yard, you know, to have you guys take a look at it. He's like, you can't leave it there. You can't. I was like, okay, fine. I was like, what? Can I come pick it up in the morning? No, I said you can't fucking leave it there. And I was like, jeez, huh? Okay. So I hung up with him and started calling other facilities that worked on trucks. I only found one in the area, and he said he was like 3 weeks backlogged and didn't want that truck sitting there on his lot not being worked on. So I was like, okay, that's fine. Let me try towing it home. Let me see if I can get a company to tow it home. So I called a tow truck company, and so I called the tow truck company and they said, no, I'm sorry, before I called the truck company, I was sitting at the store. I'm like, man, I was like, I might be able to just trailer it home, you know, put it on my trailer and get it home. Like if I just took my time, went slow, it'd be all right. I brought that other truck I had home on my trailer, so I was like, it's not much different. So by the time I got home, I reconsidered that, and I'm like, well, that truck wasn't a dually. Or this one's a dually. It's not going to fit on the trailer. I was like, but what about a car dolly? I can get a car dolly from U-Haul, hook it up, and just drag it home that way. You know, just take my time and get it home. And I was like, all right. So I called around. First place I called, Edgewood U-Haul. Real good personality answered the phone there. Whatever. You have one? Yeah. Okay, I'll be over. So I went over there. He ended up being a nice guy, but no phone numbers whatsoever. So after talking with him, that you can't put a truck on that dolly. So I was like, all right. He's like, well, let me check around, see what else I can find. So down in Baltimore, there was a trailer I could use. And I was like, I'm not driving to Baltimore to get a trailer. Like down the city. I was like, nah, I ain't doing that. Figure something else out. So got in the truck, started calling tow truck companies. Found the tow truck guy that the mechanic had given me. And he was like, yeah, but my guy's coming back from the Eastern Shore with a tow. He's been running since 3 a.m. Might not be tonight, might be in the morning. He was like, but here's another guy. He's one of my subcontractors. I use him a lot, and he never turns down work that I give him. I said, all right, well, I'll call him. So I called him. He's like, yeah, I can do it. He's like, I'm out on the road right now. It'll be a little while before I get back to the yard. He's like, no, I told him what it was and where I want it towed. I wanted to get it towed home. So he did the math and that mileage and all that stuff. And he was like, all right, I can do it, but I got to stop at the yard, get my rollback, fill it up with gas, and then I can go over there and get it. And I said, okay, cool. And I was like, oh, and by the way, it has a plow on the front of it. He was like, oh, I can't do it with a plow on the front. It's like, okay. So now I'm on my way to the truck to take the plow off, and I'm leaving it in the jackass's yard. I don't care about the plow. It's kind of junk. I don't need it. So they're going to inherit a plow before this is over. That's my intentions. Unless me and tow truck driver can throw it in the bed of my truck, then we'll just throw it up in the bed of my truck if it's just a blade. We'll see. We'll see what happens, but good Lord. One of those things, you win some, lose some. This is definitely a lose some proposition I'm in right now. And it's not even like this is close. It's an hour away. Man, dumbass, All right. Well, let's see how this works out. Oh, so check this out. I did get these. Got mirrors off of Amazon. They have turn signals. I don't know if you can see that right. And good towing mirrors. They're relatively cheap. Took like 20 minutes a door to put them in. They weren't very long at all. If that, 15 minutes maybe. Pretty simple install. Pretty good quality. They're power mirrors. The only thing they don't do is they don't auto fold in, which I don't really care about, but do this. So you got power. Pretty sweet. Great for towing, and they extend out also. All right, so we're here now. Got the truck backed out. Of course, it wouldn't start now, so we had to push it a little bit. Rollback driver's here. Gonna load it up. Get her home. So we got home the other night. Success. Overall, not bad for what we need. Gonna do us good. So the first thing was I started fixing the exhaust. Yeah, you can't even test drive it or do anything. It's so loud. So that was step one. I got one side almost done, and no, this isn't going to be like one of my other projects. This is get her done. That's one side removed. Had a big missing section of the pipe and a cherry bomb muffler on the end of it. So I cut all this crap out of it. Some of this is from the other side too. There's not much left of it. So I'll climb under there and show you what I did so far. I got to do a little tailpipe section on it, but the main part's done. Driver's side is a little bit of a mess. The collector is loose, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. I don't want to break anything or do too much. I don't care if it's a little noisy. I just don't want it ridiculously noisy like it is. So that's the goal. Make it drivable. So just to show you, Inside's not the prettiest, but it does start up and run pretty good. It starts right up. I got some wiring at the batteries that are a mess, loose connections and stuff, but after I tweak it out, it should be okay. I might need to replace the batteries, but right now they're all right. So that. Pretty freaking loud. Yeah. All right, so here's what I got so far. Cut the existing pipe off right there. And I put a flex tube in, unheard of for me, and then just ran a few sections back and connected a muffler to it. And then it's on a hanger back there. The muffler is on the tailpipe side, but I left it there because I wanted to save the piping that I do have for this side. And then this side, come up here. I cut this one off right here. See, it's a little loose. I think what I'm gonna do is just kind of prop it up in there, and then the section of pipe I put in, make sure it just sits, you know, it pulls it tight so it's not wiggly. Somehow or another, I'll figure it out. Ain't gonna be great, but it'll work. I can get back here, go around all this nonsense, and mount the muffler back there. There's a couple hangers already there. Figure that out when I get back there. I think that little monkey is the drivability issues. Low auxiliary fuel pump running back there. They disabled the mechanical fuel pump on the side of the engine block and put a mechanical or an electric one back here, and I don't think it keeps up. I think the nipples are too small. That's not enough fuel flowing through here. It's a big block diesel. I mean, they got, looks like 1/4 inch nipples on it. I'm not sure, but have to address that. And then there's an old shitty fuel filter back in there too. Oh wait, look at this. Get that fuel filter. This thing's tiny. It's like for a gas or lawnmower. What's that all about? The hell are you thinking? So this is what I found for mufflers. I got 2 of these. I had these on my old 65 Nova. Sounded pretty good. And they're fairly cheap. I think it was $89. You know, they don't last forever and they're not the greatest flow, and I don't really give a shit. It's not a hot rod. But for the price they'll work. And then this is how I build the exhaust. I got one adapter I think I might need for that downpipe over there that looks narrowed. I'm not sure. This is a section of one of these that I already cut up for the other side. And then you just buy a few of these straight sections. Got some 45s and then this flex tube. Problem is getting clamps. I've bought all the clamps I could find. There's just not many out there anymore. So I got a couple hangers if I need them, and well, I'm sure I will. And right now I got 2 clamps. So definitely gonna have to make a store run to somewhere else. I've hit just about every damn parts store I could trying to find clamps. It's been a problem. Also straight sections of pipe and the elbows. It's amazing. Supply chain, right? I also picked up a new fuel filter. This fits 3/8 and 5/16 fuel hoses. I gotta see what they got under there. I gotta get rid of the fuel filters that are there. I didn't show you the other one that's similar to this that's under there, just that one little dinky one. Yeah, I might have to put 2 filters, like one in front of that pump and one on the outside, or the exit of that pump. I got some clamps for that too. So, see another store running coming. So let me figure out what I gotta get or do and get started. Score for Napa. have to remember they were there. I didn't even know that store was there. There should be plenty. Should be plenty. I got a couple 2 1/8 clamps too I can put behind the mufflers if I need to. Reason being, back pressure, it goes. If you, I doubt I'd even hear it. It just, whatever. That's the way you should do it. New exhaust was a success. Sounds pretty good. You can hardly hear it running besides the diesel, of course. Not bad. So I'm gonna put the bed up. I haven't done this before. I watched them do it. They're neutral, engage, PTO. Lift the bed up. Of course, I could probably get more gas. Pretty cool. This is what it does. There it is. Oh yeah. That was it. That's what I was doing when we were bringing it home.